Lena, and today's layout is entitled That Park Life. And the paper collection that I used for it is, I think, one of my favorites of all time. And it's from Crate Paper, no surprise, but it's the Maggie Holmes open book collection. Definitely in my top five of love. and so I've had this collection and I've played with it quite a bit, but I pulled it out again for this picture, and the pictures of my daughter at the park, and she's trying to climb up the slide instead of sliding down the slide. So she's 18 months old, and she is very curious, and she's very rambunctious and a total tomboy for sure, but still likes to dress up. So kind of like her mama. So what I'm doing here is, this is the I think it's called uh, maybe it's bookmark. Okay, well, that paper with the book spines, I love that paper, but I didn't want to use the whole thing in its entirety, so I just chose a section of it that I like the best, and I adhered it onto that black and white. It's got splatter. It's got like pinkish kind of red splatter in the corners, and it looks a little aged as well. Um, and I really like that sheet. It's one of my, everything in this collection is my favorite. Okay, I just need to stop saying that. So I am now matting just my pictures, and I'm using some of the yellow. It's like a iCat kind of chevron kind of look. It's not like precise lines of chevron. It's just kind of iCat looking. Um, and here is the vellum with gold text. I love that vellum. It is so pretty. Oh, I didn't even want to cut into it, but I did. It's so pretty. And it's hard to see in the video the shimmer, I guess, or the metallic sheen to the actual gold text. Like, you could see it in certain angles, but oh, in real life, it's too pretty. And I didn't want to cut it up, but I did. So here I used a doily, and I used I used it on the edge of the page, and it's okay that it went off because I just cut up the piece that was hanging over off. And I like the look of that. I think it's pretty cool. And here, these are the cut apart sheets. And I really like them too. Like, it's so hard to use everything in this collection. Like, unless you have like an unlimited supply of like papers, there's some things you're gonna have to give up, like the back sides of certain sheets, and you know. So the pieces that I chose are that black and white polka dot. I chose that um, piece that I'm inking the edges of with pumice stone distress ink, and it just says, I love everything about this. And I do. I love my kid. Like, everybody loves their kid, obviously. But the fact that she's so adventurous and she's not afraid of anything, I love that about her. I love that she's not afraid to, she's a tough cookie. She's not afraid to stand her ground, and she's not afraid to play, and she's not afraid to get dirty, and she's not afraid. It started raining the other day and we were outside, and she couldn't have cared less about getting wet. She was just like, hey, whatever. And I love that about her. So I'm continuing to ink up the edges with the pumice stone, which is my favorite distress ink. I love it for distressing the edges of ephemera pieces, and I just feel like it gives more of a natural shadow versus, like, I have a lot of them, but I mean, I don't reach for the other ones that I have for distressing edges of things. Like, I'll use them to watercolor with, I'll use them to, you know, for other projects, but I won't distress edges. Like, I think one of the first ones I got was antique linen, and I loved it when I got it. But then I'm like, there's got to be something else. And as I'm like building my collection, and I came upon pumice stone, I'm like, oh, okay, this is the color that I need, and this is the color that I'm going to continue to use, and that's what I did. So those are the alphas that I'm using, and those are thickers and in the font Banner. So I'm going to spell out that park life, and I'm going to speed it up for you in a little bit. And I'm just going to spell it, I'm going to lay it out banner style. You'll see it fitting because, hey, it's a banner. It's a banner font. So I'm just going to say that park life. And with all of my thickers, except with the exception of the foam ones, I glue them down with wet glue because I've had so many bad experiences with thickers falling off that I don't want it to happen anymore. So, and I know they're sticky when you first get them, but over time, especially depending on the part of the world that you're in, it could be too humid, it could be too dry, they lose their tact. So, there you could see that I'm just gluing things down, and that's the way it takes a little bit of extra time, but you know what? When you look back on it 5 years from now, your work's still going to be in one piece. So that's that. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to go in with, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm playing around with the embellishments. So I'm just going to shop around some embellishments here, find what fits, and there's a lot of pieces in this collection, and all the pieces are so pretty and work so well together. So that little tag there says City Park Festival, and I thought it was pretty fitting considering we were at the park. And it was perfect. And I didn't know that when I picked up this collection. It just happened to be like that. Happened to be in there, in that ephemera pack. So I'm going to create a couple clusters. So that first cluster is going to be in the top right. And then I'm just going to add some other pieces. Oh, decided to distress the edges of that one, of that tag. And some pieces don't make it on. Like I want to use some of the bigger gold pieces, like that wreath and that, I think it's a jackalope. Is that an animal? Jackalope? Jackrabbit? I don't know. It's too big to be a rabbit. So, and it's got antlers, so I think it's called a jackalope. Maybe. Oh my god, if I'm wrong and you know the answer, please correct me. But they don't make it on the page, They just didn't go with the overall, I guess, aesthetic or look I was going for with the layout. I do have bits and pieces and little aspects of the gold in there, but those gold pieces were just too much. And the color of this layout was just, it's a lot of color. So it's a lot of big, bold pieces. So see, I was shopping around that wreath, and just as much as I love it, it doesn't make it. So I popped some pieces up, like I popped that little heart there that's next to the I love everything about this, and then I popped up that little blueprint and gold heart. I think just things like that give your page a bit more dimension, and I really like the look of it. So I'm continuing to shop around pieces. Actually, I think I stole that from Victoria Marie. Shopper, she says that a lot. Not a lot, but I mean, she says that. I guess I got it from her. So I guess we shop together. Wow, okay. Victoria Marie, if you're watching this, I apologize, girlfriend. So, what else am I doing here? Just adding more bits and pieces. I don't end up writing anything on that green tag that I stuck down. I don't know why. I just didn't. Now I'm busting out my watercolor, and I'm going to use the pink, and I'm not trying to match it exactly, but I'm just kind of mimicking the pink that's already on the page. Mine's a little darker, and mine's more on the reddish kind of side, but it still works. So, and then I'm also going to pull out the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Gold. And I'm also going to use the white linen Dilutions. So I think staples in my paint splatter repertoire will always be the gold, Heidi Swapp Gold, and the white Dilutions. So it is what it is, folks. That's it. Let's call a spade a spade. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.